There's been important developments in Ethiopia this week with concerns about the possibility of, well, all-out war between the Tigray Liberation People's Front with the Oromo People's Movement and the central government in Ethiopia. It's seen some foreign diplomats trying to engage in shuttle diplomacy, going from one side to another. Sipho Mantula joins us now, an expert on our continent. Sipho, good afternoon to you. I mean, the US seems to be involved in some of these diplomatic efforts. The former Nigerian president, Olusegun Obasanjo, he's playing an important role. Do you think they're going to have any success in trying to bring peace to Ethiopia?
Afternoon, Stephen, to the viewers. I think so, because if you can look, Obasanjo has been there for the past 2 weeks. He went in and out, and this week, as we know, that he will be going to the northern part where there's been conflict. But USA's role, you can see that it is coming in many fronts, using Blinken's visit to Kenya, Senegal, and as well as Lagos. And as well as you see that the AU has been very critical as well, that they are at the Addis Ababa, and there is this conflict coming, and there is no way that they can just sit back and just relax. As you know, that Ethiopia is under the state of emergency. So the role of Obasanjo will be critical in terms of getting two parties to agree, even if we know that one of the demands coming from the government to the rebels, it is that they need to move out of the occupied areas.
The politics of Ethiopia is so incredibly complicated. Even if there is some kind of peace for the moment, I mean, is there a risk that there's just no lasting solution, no long-lasting solution?
You know, Stephen, one even considering Abiy Ahmed as the Nobel Peace Prize, one will assume, and having the Ministry of Peace, one will assume that they will have mastered this national reconciliation project that they were about to launch between 2018 and 2019. And if we are talking of lasting peace, it is to understand that the governance issues dates back to the 1991 era, and as well as the 2018 post-Abiy Ahmed coming into power. And that's where we are finding challenges going on in that country. And as well as you know that Ethiopia has been having ethnic groups that are in different regions contesting to be independent, and which makes it difficult for this united Ethiopia vision for Abiy Ahmed. And that's where the issue of lasting peace should be should be strengthened by AU mostly than the foreign countries, because once you have foreign countries, and that's where Ethiopia was emphasizing that they will have their own solutions, because this is an Ethiopian problem.
I mean, the big risk here is that Ethiopia could even break up as a nation state. I mean, could that really happen?
You know, Stephen, I don't think they will, because you will remember in the past there was a breakup between Eritrea and Ethiopia during the reign of Emperor Haile Selassie. And if you understand the issue of secession or people breaking away, we know the crisis in Somaliland and Somalia, the North Sudan, the South Sudan, that whenever you are having breakup of countries based on borders or ethnic grouping, that will even perpetuate more of a conflict in that area. More so, they are sharing borders with countries that are currently in crisis. If you can think of Sudan, if you can think of DRC, if you can think of even other countries that they will include Egypt. So one will not think that a breakaway, a separation will ever bring solution to this crisis.
We do need to talk a little bit about Uganda as well, Sipho. Well, we've got you, there were these bomb blasts in Kampala this week. I mean, strong action promised by Yoweri Museveni, the president there. But again, the big risk is that we have these groups who are trying to foment problems. They're trying to basically create a different form of government. It must be very scary, and I imagine Museveni must be very angry.
Museveni, remember, he had struggled at some point with the then Joseph Kony, the Lord Resistant Army, at some point. Now, this time you've got other forces that have been attacking Museveni, the Allied forces. And again, the role of Uganda in the Somalian crisis. Remember that Uganda were part of the peacekeeping mission in Somalia. That has already exposed Uganda to these terrorist bombings that we have seen from last month. Because if you can look at the patterns of this terror, this terror acts, they've been moving even to the key buildings. Like this week, it was nearly hitting the parliament. And if you can look, Museveni is now coming out strong that they will definitely deal with them. As you know that this week, it was a serious bombings that happened that killed more than 7 people and 33 people wounded.
I really appreciate the time. Sipho Mantula, thanks very much indeed. Expert, of course, on our continent there. He's at the Thabo Mbeki School of Leadership.